What's up, my friends in film fandom, wherever you may be and however you may be watching? Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time. Jeremy was talking the other day when they were doing Disclosure Day. There's a bit of an alien trilogy, a sci-fi outer space trilogy that Spielberg had going on, and this is the second movie that was mentioned in that trilogy. So obviously the other one is going to come up, but that's fine because it's one that I think is long overdue for us to review. Anyway, we'll get to that one here in the near future. But we are obviously here to talk about one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made. As Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Here to do that with me is my Hair Life mate Jeremy. What's up, brother?
This is Aliens Round 2 Electric Boogaloo, so or Techno Boogaloo, I don't know. There were a lot of flashing lights and music and techno synths in this movie, but hey, this is what kind of started it, really. I know I said second, but I kind of used the Star Wars approach to how this works. I think technically E.T. would be second, but I'm sure we'll get to that at some point.
I don't know. They got all these different orders in which we can watch the Star Wars movies that are weird, whatever. I'm just like, watch them how they came out. They work out just fine that way. And with this, of course, is Jeremy's better half, Rachel. What's going on, girl?
Oh, just excited to get into one of my favorite alien movies. I love this one. Very excited.
Yeah, like you, I'm into some of the cerebral stuff too. It's not just aliens and special effects. There is a lot of thought-provoking character stuff that happens in this movie that I think makes it a better science fiction movie. It makes it better than just like the regular aliens are here, whatever, and then stuff happens and there's like a lot of nice shiny lights and things and jingling keys and then the credits roll and we all walk out of the theater. But I'm really excited to talk about this. This is one of my dad's favorite movies. He was a big sci-fi fan. He made me a big sci-fi fan, and I grew up watching this movie kind of on the regular. This is like Star Wars and some Star Trek movies. I've probably seen this movie 24 times at some point, maybe more, in random watchings, just because it's a very good movie. And we are going to get into it right now. We were, of course, here to talk about Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It is, as I scroll up to the top of my notes, it is a 1977 American science fiction drama film written and directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Richard Dreyfuss, Melinda Dillon, Teri Garr, Bob Balaban, Cary Guffey, and François Truffaut. The film depicts the interconnected stories of Roy Neary, played by Dreyfuss, an everyday blue-collar worker in Indiana, whose life changes after an encounter with an unidentified flying object. Jillian Guiler, played by Melinda Dillon, is a single mother whose 3-year-old son Barry is abducted during the same UFO manifestation. And Claude Lacombe, played by Truffaut, is a French scientist pursuing a link between recent unexplained scientific phenomena across the globe. Made in a production budget of $19.4 million. That sounds like pocket change these days. Close Encounters was released in a limited number of cities on November 16th and 23rd of 1977, and then expanded into wide release the following month. It was a critical and financial success, eventually grossing over $300 million worldwide and becoming the third highest grossing film of 1977, behind only Star Wars and Smokey and the Bandit. Those are two big hitters. It received numerous awards and nominations at the 50th Academy Awards and has been wildly acclaimed by the American Film Institute. It was praised for its visual effects, story, themes, performances, particularly by Dreyfuss, Dillon, and Truffaut, cinematography, musical score, editing, and Spielberg's direction. So basically, they just loved everything about the movie. Rotten Tomatoes reports that 91% out of 117 reviews were positive, with an average rating of 9.1 out of 10. The website's consensus review reads, quote, Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a deeply humane sci-fi exploring male obsession, cosmic mysticism, and music. In December of 2007, it was deemed culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant by the United States Library of Congress and selected for preservation in the National Film Registry. And, I don't think you can say enough glowing stuff about this movie, to be perfectly honest. Jeremy, give me your quick thoughts on the film before we get into the spoiler review.
Yeah, that was a good year for some movies. I was going to say, when you tell me it came like third for that year, I'm like, well, I can imagine there was some other little tiny film that came out that year called Star Wars that kind of blew everybody away. And can't go wrong with Burt Reynolds. So, I mean, that speaks for itself. Yeah, there's something about this movie that's not, like, I think we were talking a little bit before we got on here, that it's not just, aliens and, Will Smith punching one in the face and saying something about Close Encounters, but it's kind of not only just really visually stunning. It's like you said, it's kind of got some thought provoking stuff into it, like especially at the end when everybody, I mean, spoiler, sorry, everybody who went missing comes back, and I was just thinking, like, what do you even do with that? You were in some like Navy flight that went missing in the like late mid 40s, and you just suddenly come back to Earth, haven't aged a day, and at the end of the 70s, I'm like, what the fuck do you even do with that kind of information? That's insane. I don't know. There's some some discussion to be had about this movie, and that's probably why it's stuck around for so long. Again, not only just being visually just stunning. I think stuff from that you picked for the thumbnail, I'm like, each one of those frames is just a really cool, like, aesthetic looking shot. Like I especially love the one of him on the train track where the truck is just illuminated by the light the first time he, I guess, has his close encounter, so to speak. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to deep dive this one a little bit.
Rachel, how about you? Give me your quick thoughts on the movie.
I think there's something magical about this movie. Just, I mean, you look at everything that you can see in this movie, for one. I mean, the aesthetics of everything is just really kind of beautiful in a way. And then the story itself of kind of wonder and what the aliens are kind of doing and the minds of the people they've affected as they're making their way towards, making that contact with Earth. There's just something really magical about it, and I'm excited to kind of deep dive into everything this movie has to offer.
I'm trying to pull up some box office mojo numbers on this, but we're going back so far that the numbers are a little spotty. It only goes back to 1977. So I'm kind of struggling a little bit to get the numbers that I want. But I mean, some of the movies that came out in this year that I had to deal with, obviously Star Wars, Smokey the Bandit, Saturday Night Fever, another big movie, The Spy Who Loved Me. Let's see, Exorcist 2. Slapshot, a classic movie. It didn't do a whole lot of money, but classic movie. And of course, there were some other movies, like the original Free Friday came out this time or that year and all. But yeah, there were some other things that I had to deal with that probably weren't helping it, nab the box office. I mean, just Star Wars enough would be enough to keep it out of the top spot. But yeah, I agree with you, Rachel. I think there is something very timeless about this movie. Every once in a while we get that movie that it transcends what the modern viewer wants, and it's just like, here's this movie that is just going to be awesome forever, kind of like the 1922 Nosferatu, or basically 3 or 4 other Steven Spielberg movies. It's like he just, Wizard of Oz, something that it can't be defined or easily attached to one era of filmmaking. And it's interesting because, UFOs have always been kind of a point of contention socially. Are there aliens? Aren't there aliens? Area 51, Roswell. That's always been stuff that's been out there in the zeitgeist somewhere. And it's fun because now it's becoming more in the zeitgeist. It seems like every day there's some story about, any day now the government's going to come clean about the aliens. And I'm like, no, they're not. Not unless it benefits them somehow. We all know that. But this is it's one of those things, UFOs, that never goes away. It's always something that, even if you're not really interested in it, you'll talk about it for a while over some beers with some friends. Everybody's got some kind of weird opinion. And this movie takes all that and gives it a very human face. With Dreyfuss's character and everything he goes through, and the single mother and her son who apparently befriends one who was tearing up his kitchen earlier in the movie. It's got something that other movies just don't have. So this is one of those movies that, it's 50 years old now, 49 years old now. It's gonna be 50 next year. In 50 years, people are still going to be watching this movie when it's hit the 100-year-old mark, the way that we watched, the original Nosferatu now, and they're going to be like, damn, this movie still holds up. This movie still hits hard. Like I said, there are some movies out there that I really like that I've only seen once or twice. There are some movies out there that I really like that I will watch once a week because there's something about them that just grabs you. And this is one of those movies. But, let's get into the let's get into the discussion now. I don't have a good picture of Spielberg. Not that I necessarily need one. We all know who the hell he is. I mean, what can we say about Spielberg? I mean, that's even how I put it down in my notes with Spielberg. You know, it's just Spielberg. Rachel, what do you think about the job he did with this movie? Because this is still kind of early on in his career, post Jaws, but this is like the second really big movie that he had done. What do you think of the work that he did on this film?
I mean, I think it was done incredibly. I mean, the pacing was good. I mean, this is, you know, we talked about what was the movie called we just did on Tuesday? My goodness. Disclosure Day. Yes. And how long that movie was. And this was another one that was long, but it didn't feel long. I didn't, you know, get bored watching it. It felt as long as it needed to be. It was another one of those where the pacing was right. The timing of things felt right. You know, I think, you know, he did a good job with this movie. I mean, what else can I say, you know?
I don't know. Jeremy, how about you? Give me your thoughts on one of Spielberg's early efforts.
First of all, I just want to say that picture of her trying to get the kid out of the road. I don't know if she thought he was going to shoot his eye out or something. Going after those aliens. I'm sorry, I can't. She's always just been the mom from Christmas Story for me. But yeah, for this movie and for really, I don't know if he really did anything else between the two. You know, we talked about Jaws being in '75, kind of being his first, you know, real big hit that kind of made him, you know, who he is, and literally made the summer blockbuster a thing. And then he comes around a couple years later in '77 with Close Encounters. So it's like, I guess that's the 1-2 punch where you're like, yeah, this guy, he knows what he's doing. He's got it. I'm just gonna keep repeating myself, but I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why this movie still damn near 50 years later is still watched with the same sense of like, you know, we're waxing poetic about it right now. You know, there's a reason for that. Because like I said, it's not like a typical I almost said zombie, Jesus Christ, a typical alien film. It's not like necessarily an invasion. It's kind of like it like kind of captures the wonder, like she said about like the fact that this movie is about the same runtime as Disclosure Day, where it's like 2.5 hours, something like that. Where it's got some length, but like it kind of still keeps you drawn in, and I'm not really sure even in '77. I'm sure there's been a lot of science fiction things, and hell, even through probably like the 50s, the 60s, obviously into the 70s, where we're at now with this film, that it doesn't feel like it took that long, because it does just, you're kind of just sitting there in wonder and awe of like this thing happening, absorbing every moment of it. And there's something like, even with like this picture here, or something when you see the lights, it's a little terrifying, but it's kind of weirdly beautiful just seeing something like that come through the fucking sky. I'll jump ahead a little bit. Like I've been to Devil's Tower, and we stayed there overnight, and I was like, every once in a while, like looking up, I'm like, I swear if I start seeing some lights come out of the sky, like, oh dear God, here it goes. Like, not only it's a cool natural monument to like just be in awe of, but I was like, also I'm like, yeah, well, like the background here, like if you start seeing that shit, it's like, oh Christ, here we go. Yeah, you start hearing those 5 little tones from the other side of the mountain just echoing through the valley. It's like, son of a bitch. Great job, Spielberg. Like I said, you should make more movies or something. That might be a thing you might be good at. Yeah. So,
yeah. Have you ever thought about being a filmmaker? You might become.
Have you ever considered, sir, this being a career choice? Yeah.
Yeah, Spielberg's known for just picking a genre and making what is maybe the first or second best film that's ever been made in that genre, and doing it simply because he can. You know, I've told my sons over the years, I'm like, whatever you do in life, just try to be better than everybody else. Don't do it because you're going to get paid. Do it because you're going to go to sleep at night knowing that you're better than everybody else. I mean, starting with, I mean, he did 3 films before Jaws. He did Firelight, Duel, and the Sugarland Express, which Sugarland Express was probably it's been known as a good movie since over the years, but when it first came out, it was not considered his breakout. Jaws obviously considered his breakout as his 4th film. But I mean, starting with Jaws, he just does a list of absolute bangers. And I mean like Academy Award winning, high quality, amazing production stuff. 75 Jaws, 77 this movie. 1979, he did 1941, which I know most people call his one bomb. That movie is fucking hilarious. And I don't care what anybody says. I will fight you on this. It's funny. Then he does Raiders of the Lost Ark. Movie, but it is funny. It's not the best movie he's ever made. It's his spoof. It's a spoof movie. Yes, Steven Spielberg made a spoof movie called 1941, and it's hilarious. And then in 81,
kind of like SNL.
Yeah,
in a weird way. Yeah.
And then in 81, it was kind of like Airplane. It was a lot like that.
Yes.
But
yes.
And then 81, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Check out this string of movies: Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Twilight Zone the movie, Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom, Color Purple, Empire of the Sun, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And it's like, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 movies that were all. I'm sorry. Well, 2 movies that were nominated for Best Picture. He was nominated for Best Director, and I think 3 of them off the top of my head. I know The Color Purple got a ton of nominations. Empire of the Sun got a lot of nominations too. And then, of course, the 2 of the at least the last good Indiana Jones movie, which is by far the magnum opus of that entire franchise. And then he follows it up with a small movie like Always, a good movie. I think I saw it once when it first came out. Hook, good movie, kind of a classic early 90s joint. And then he comes out in 1993 with maybe 2 of the most important cinematic films ever made, Jurassic Park and Schindler's List. I mean, Jurassic Park we've talked to death, obviously, because we have Brady around. He's part of the circle. Schindler's List, I think, is maybe one of the best films ever made. There's no way. I mean, that movie's so good, it's hard to watch. It hits so hard that I can only watch it once every couple of years because it's so engrossing and so emotionally taxing.
I've only watched it, I think, twice in my entire life. It's a heavy movie to get through. I watched it once in school, and then I think I watched it again a few years ago, and I watched it with my mom because she said she hadn't seen it. I was like, I'll sit down and watch it, but man, you better be sitting down when you watch this movie because
that movie hits hard. And then Jurassic Park 2, Amistad, good movie. And then he comes out with another banger in Saving Private Ryan, which is one of the best war movies ever made.
Yeah.
Brilliant performances, brilliant everything in that movie. AI, Minority Report, Catch Me If You Can. I don't give a shit if that whole story was fake. It's still a fantastic movie. The Terminal is a movie he did that caught a lot of shit, and a lot of people don't like it. I think that's actually a very good movie. Tom Hanks acts the fuck out of that movie. War of the Worlds, not great. Munich was a great movie. That one of those other Indiana Jones movies. and then it gets to the point where he's playing with house money. He does the Adventures of Tintin, which I thought was okay, but a lot of people loved it. Warhorse, everybody loved. Lincoln, fantastic movie. Bridge of Spies, fantastic movie. The BFG, which I watched once, I thought was okay. The Post, which I thought was pretty good. One of Jeremy's favorite movies, Ready Player One. And then he decides to dip into the musical side, makes the West Side Story, which gets a million Academy nominations. Then he does the Fabelmans, and now, of course, Disclosure Day, which just came out. The reason I go down that entire list of all of his shit is there's not one single genre, with the exception of the superhero movie, because it's kind of a new thing in Hollywood still, despite the fact that we got a million superhero movies now. It's still relatively new in Spielberg's time. But I mean, he went from horror movie to Jaws to sci-fi movie and Close Encounters of the Third Kind to spoof movie in 1941 to adventure film in Raiders of the Lost Ark, back to the emotional kind of alien movie with E.T. Then he does one of the Twilight Zone scenes from a Twilight Zone movie. Back to Indiana Jones, a deep dramatic piece in The Color Purple and Empire of the Sun, back to Indiana Jones, then kind of like a romantic drama thing with Always, then another kind of like G-rated adventure thing with Hook, then Jurassic Park, which in many ways reinvigorated and kind of set the direction for all the great action movies that actually had good story and good characters. Then he does Schindler's List, which again is just, I think it may be the best film ever made. And then just on and on and on and on and on. There's not a genre this guy's been afraid of. And this was just kind of the first step, going from the horror movie in Jaws to the very cerebral sci-fi thing in this movie in Close Encounters, where he shows just what kind of brilliance he was going to have for decades after that. So if nobody saw that coming, and how could you really? If nobody saw it coming, it was a pleasant surprise. But yeah, I can't wax poetically enough about Spielberg, obviously, because I've been doing it for the last 5 minutes. But moving on to the other stuff, because we like I said, we can go on for Spielberg for an hour, and we're probably gonna do more Spielberg movies. But let's go to the cast now. And again, the cast of this film. I mean, a couple of big standouts. There's two main leads, but there's really all kinds of people in this movie that play some significant roles and have some pretty good performances. I'll go to you first, Jeremy. What do you think of the cast of the film, and who stood out to you the most?
I mean, I guess I'll use my cheat card and just, I mean, I'll give it to Richard Dreyfuss. He's on screen, since he's kind of what drives this whole movie forward, with this guy being obsessed with this vision of the mountain he saw, which we find out is Devil's Tower, that he got from his close encounter, his little midnight sunburn, as it were. It's kind of crazy. It almost, in a way, because you kind of find out at the end, it's like he kind of got chosen by these aliens. It's what it seems like. All these other people had this experience and they all migrated there, but yeah, he got his little first class ticket to go do space adventures. So that was cool. Obviously Melinda Dillon, I know she's not just from A Christmas Story. Okay, I understand. I'm just saying it's one of my favorite movies. My favorite Christmas movies that she's in. Yeah, it's not like it's a huge cast. I mean, especially people that at least stick around for the whole movie. I mean, what was that? What was that poor guy's name? Arthur. Where the hell he got halfway up the Devil's Tower and he got gassed, and I was like, oh well, poor guy. He tried, I guess. Of the 12 people in that chopper, he was the only one who tried to at least go with him, and was unsuccessful. That poor guy. Just taking a little nap. He's gonna wake up with a hell of a headache.
He's gonna wake up and be like, did I miss anything?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Be a bunch of government suits there with a little fucking Men in Black neuralizer. Like, here, I need you to look right here. Yeah. But no, I would say Richard Dreyfuss. I think it, like I said, he plays that kind of like crazed, obsessive guy. Like, we talked about it a little bit. They're like, and Frank's like, he's a piece of shit dad. I was like, his wife kind of sucks too, man. I think he was actually kind of lucid again, snapped back into that scene where he's just sitting in the shower and he is like begging her, like, dude, I don't know what to fucking do. Like, you need to help me here. I lose my fucking mind. She's like, you're tearing us the fuck apart. Like, she turns into Tommy Wiseau from the room and just tear me apart, Lisa, and just takes the kids and fucks off. She didn't even try to understand him. I was like, man, you suck. I don't. Damn. We don't know what he was like before this, I guess. I mean, I think his valid crash out was when his kid was just smacking the shit out of that crib or whatever he was in. He was just like, dude, you are close to death. Get out. I was like, that's fair. You kind of humored him, and then it's like, child, I'm over it, okay? Damn. Yeah. Richard Dreyfuss. Dealing with big ass sharks and now aliens, man. You just can't catch a break.
Not that he's ready for anything at this point, though. But I don't know. What about you, Rachel? What did you think of the cast of the film, and who stood out to you the most?
I liked Teri Garr's performance of the wife. I thought that it was pretty realistic. Her reactions, she played it very well, I felt. I do agree that she could have been a little bit more sympathetic, but realistically,
supportive wife,
a little bit more supportive. But realistically, you've got what, 4 kids? She had 4 kids.
She had 3.
I thought there were 4. Were there 3? I don't know. 3 or 4.
3, yeah, more than one. Multiple
more than
kids.
one. Yeah. There are multiple children, all under the age of probably 10. You're trying to parent these kids, and your husband is building stuff with mud in your house, and it's the 70s. And
art is subjective.
I mean, this is a time where that is right. You're that is just some craziness that you are not prepared to handle. I mean, that I think she played it very well. He did a shitty
job of trying to explain it, and then he just didn't.
Yeah, he didn't explain anything that was going on in his head.
Just trust me, bro. Trust me,
right?
bro.
It was just trust me. But I think she played the wife of it as the wife of Roy very well. I also enjoyed the French scientist a lot. I liked his performance as well. Claude, I believe, is his name. I enjoyed his performance as well.
I don't know if I got him in this picture or not. No, he's not in this picture.
No.
I don't have a picture of him. That's my mistake.
Yeah, but I liked his kind of, inserts of English with his French, doing all that stuff. That's kind of who stood out to me cast wise.
Yeah, I'm with you guys about Melinda Dillon. I think she's definitely one of the standouts of this entire. What does the picture have? I think she's one of the standouts in all this. My only problem with her performance is like when they first have the little run-in with the aliens at her house, and she looks out her second story window and sees her kid playing out in the yard in the middle of the night. She's just like, "Hey, get back in here." No, get back in here. I'm like, no, go down here and get him, woman. It's the middle of the night. You're in a cornfield in Indiana. You know that kind of stuff out there that can eat your child? Get down there and get him back in the house. Yeah. But it was the 70s, so we'll let a few things go. There were still a lot of drugs around the 70s. But she was the one standout for me. I think she's the only character that really does chew up a lot of the time. Was probably intended for Dreyfuss's character. I mean, just that there were times where I thought that maybe she was taking the whole thing not seriously enough. Like, because I know if I were her and my kid were kidnapped by aliens, I'd be a frantic mess from every waking moment, and I wouldn't be sleeping a whole lot. But maybe I don't know. It's a movie. I'm gonna let a little bit of it go for the movie. I do want to point out, like you said, though, Teri Garr. I mean, I grew up watching Teri Garr and all kinds of things, from this movie to like Mr. Mom, and that's a great movie. I actually just right before she passed away, I was watching a couple episodes of MASH, and the episode of MASH that she was in came on just before she passed away, and yeah, she through the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s, she was as big a star as it got. Not quite Meryl Streep level, but I mean, any movie she was in, she was going to be good. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, it's Richard Dreyfuss. I mean, he's got the strangest arc, the strangest journey of all the characters here, and it's a wild ride watching him go through all the shit that he goes through for sure. But yeah, he definitely does kind of run this movie. But I thought I had a picture of the guy holding the sign too. I'll have to find that. But yeah, but there's a lot of characters in here that are pretty good. I was kind of bummed, like Rachel, you talked about the French scientist. I thought he should have been a bigger part of things. I feel like he should have kind of run half the movie, like the sciencey stuff of the movie, and everything else should have been kind of left on Dreyfuss's character and Melinda Dillon's character, like that half. So it really should have been approaching the story from two different angles rather than just like the French scientists popping in every now and again to say big scientific words and then going back to this. But yeah, I do like his performance as well. So yeah, the performance of all three of the people that were mentioned by in the introduction, I can't knock any of them. But let's get to the plot now. And I mean, aliens. The plot is not so much just aliens coming down at first contact. I think this movie does try to get a little bit deeper than that. I'll go to you first, Rachel. What do you think of the plot of the film? Did it work out for you? Is there anything you'd have changed?
I think it works pretty well. I mean, you've got, the beginning there where all the the scientists find those the aircrafts, and then got the toys waking up with the kid. Oh yeah, I forgot about the ship. Yes, the big ship in the middle of the desert. That was I had almost rewatching this movie. I had forgotten about the very beginning portions with the planes and the ship, just kind of appearing. But I that part was really interesting. I also, I think I liked. I agree with what you said earlier about the little kid going out in the field and mom just being like, "Get back in here." It's like, yeah, you should probably go get your child from outside in the middle of the night. Just a thought. But you know, and then when with the first encounters kind of with the UFOs that occur when they're with Ronnie going and with all the power outages and him going to and finally, you know, being right underneath that UFO, that scene, so cool. And then kind of getting that sunburn, or not sunburn, but a UFO burn. With the plot itself, I don't know that I would change much. There is one scene that Jeremy brought up when we were watching it, where Richard Dreyfuss and Melinda Dillon, their characters kiss, and it is a weird scene, and I don't know why they included that. It felt a little unnecessary. That scene I probably would have omitted, but other than that, I feel like the plot goes by, and it makes sense to me, and I don't think there's anything that I would have added or changed. I really enjoyed the bit where they're when they're trying to get into all of the people who had come from around the nation trying to get to the Devil's Tower, all of the people who had been called to it, and they're all in the helicopter with their gas masks on, and you know, the guy takes it off. He's like, "No, the air is fine," and they're all trying to determine if the air was fine. I loved that scene. That scene was really cool. And then, you know, then the three people escape from the helicopter, and I thought that was interesting that they had nobody watching them. That was kind of an interesting oversight. But other than that, I think the plot makes sense. There's not much that I would change about it. Yeah.
Yeah, looking through this, again, we're looking at a 50-year-old movie through modern film fan eyes. So I'm trying not to be too critical because, you know, storytelling in film nowadays is way different. Like I said, I would have kind of split this movie kind of on two fronts. Like I said earlier, I would have had like Truffaut handle the science stuff and then the personal stuff be handled by the other two characters. But when I say that, I say I would have arranged what happened in the movie differently rather than I would have changed much. I wouldn't have made it two separate movies like I don't know, what am I thinking of? I was talking about something the other day. Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket's kind of two different movies. Like the first half of the movie is basic training and boot camp. Second half of the movie, when they get actually in country in Vietnam, is kind of a very different movie. So it's two different movies that kind of make up that one film. I would have done it quite like that, but I might have made him struggle a little bit with the decision to leave his family for that. Because I think even back in the mid-'70s, there were probably still people looking at him the way we look at him, like, yeah, you're kind of an asshole. You just kind of like ditched your family and ran off with the aliens. They didn't really explore that. I think you could have shown a little more growth in his character if you'd have explored that with him a little bit. If you at least have a scene of him struggling, maybe bring his wife in at the very last second before he leaves and have some little talk and debate, and maybe she decides, you know what, you've lost your fucking mind to this whole thing, you may as well go. That way when he leaves, it's kind of like they're both on the same page, rather than just like, I have to explain to my kids why daddy's not around anymore because he ran off the aliens, and try to make that make sense. It's like I might have done some things like that, but ultimately I wouldn't change much about the movie. I mean, you're talking about mid-70s sci-fi. You know, filmmaking was very different then. The way you tell stories was different then. I'm kind of okay with it, other than just not liking, you know, his character for his generally bad decision making. But the plot, I mean, look, sci-fi has always been kind of an interesting genre to storytelling anyway, because nothing is for sure in sci-fi. I mean, you don't know. I mean, we don't know that warp drive really exists, but we just kind of assume that it just exists in Star Trek. So we just assume that he says warp 9 engage, and they just go. We don't really think about it that much. So there's so much that you can just kind of play with in sci-fi, and I think Spielberg just kind of took all those licenses and said, "Hey, we're gonna do it like this, and it's gonna look awesome, and it's gonna blow people away, and we're gonna make people think about government." Bullshit that government has always done is kind of on display in this movie. And are we alone out there? That big question that kind of everybody thinks about here and there, and the action adventure of this trying to build up to this moment. The way he throws it all in there, I thought was really good. I wouldn't have changed ultimately anything about the movie. I mean, if I was making this movie back in 1970, whatever, I probably would have done a lot of the same stuff. But if this movie were to get remade, please don't ever let this movie get remade. Don't touch it. This is just there's some movies that I think that you should just be hands off. And everybody knows that I'm okay with the remake. If you think you got a story, then go ahead, take your shot. But some movies shouldn't be messed with. If it were going to be told in a modern way, I think the character work would probably be a little bit deeper. But for what we got in 1977, I can't really complain. I mean, there was a lot of movies that came out with this basic kind of storyline back in the 70s because of Star Wars becoming a big thing. The sci-fi genre kind of had this big resurgence, which was probably one of the reasons why this movie even got made. So I can't really knock any of the plot at all. I mean, it was written by Steven Spielberg, and he's been a pretty good writer from the jump, so I can't really knock his storytelling. But you know, let's talk about where this movie ranks among other sci-fi films. I mean, let's try to stick maybe to the maybe some of the films of the era. Let me go pull up some of the films of this era so that we can kind of. I'm looking at the wrong stuff here. 1977 in film. Let's just kind of. Some of the other sci-fi films, maybe the ones that have been so timeless. Where does this rank with some of those? Jeremy, give me a couple of sci-fi films that you think are better, and maybe a couple of films that you think this film is actually just a little bit better than them.
Star Wars, and I'm going to close my case. Thank you.
Well, fair enough.
I mean, even of the same year, obviously, Star Wars came out that year. So I can't really cheat and say Empire from 80. But I'm trying to remember. Frank, you probably know better than me because I think you've been more steeped in it than I am. Was there... Okay, I know there were Star Trek movies, but was it like the show first, or were there movies first?
Star Trek?
Yeah, Star Trek. Sorry, did the
show
come first?
The show was first. The original series was in 1960 something, and it ran for 4 seasons. And then they made the first film in 1974. 9? When did the first film come out?
I don't know. That's because I'm like, I think it's in that same little pocket of time. At least the first movie.
79 was when Star Trek: The Motion Picture came out.
Damn. Well, yeah. Okay. So around the same time. Shit. There's 3 of your heavy hitters right there with Star Wars, Star Trek, and then Close Encounters. Which, I mean, Star Trek, like I said, already had the momentum of the show behind it. Then, like I said, Star Wars kind of took over the scene. What was the question? Was it just like sci-fi in general, or was it like from the time? Because I'm like,
I mean,
I lost myself.
Just where does this rank? Give me like your top 5 sci-fi movies.
Oh God. And no, I'm not gonna say Ready Player One because I'm not gonna let you tell me that's a sci-fi movie. Because, like I said, there's stuff in.
I mean,
We kind of had the discussion. I'm like, I don't think Ready Player One is sci-fi because, like, we have that technology now. It's not really like science fiction. We could do that, in essence, not to that scale, but we could do that because we do have the virtual reality. We do have like the full body movement virtual reality too. So I'm like, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, you could say, like, 50 years ago, if you made a movie about that, you're like, that's science fiction because that doesn't exist. Like, that's something that's not, no one had thought about that yet. So I'm like, this is a little more science fiction, I guess, because to be fair, it's not like we've experienced something like this. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I would still obviously rank Star Wars up there. Or sci-fi. You know what? I'm gonna put Spaceballs in there because I can.
It's technically, it happens in space. It's sci-fi.
I know it's spoof comedy, sci-fi, whatever it counts. Spaceballs. What else is I'm trying to narrow down science fiction. Goddamn.
I mean, E.T. is technically sci-fi,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
E.T. I don't know why my brain is like just not working today. I would put Close Encounters in the top 5. I could easily be okay saying that. Let's see. 50 of the greatest sci-fi movies to watch. I don't know. Hey, look at that. E.T. Oh, Alien. I guess Alien? Yeah. It's kind of like sci-fi horror. Tron. Oh, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Shit, I almost forgot about that one. Damn. Kubrick entered the chat on that one. I kind of forgot about 2001. Oh, look at that. Spielberg, Super 8. Inception. What do you think? That's one of your favorite movies. You think Inception is science fiction?
I thought Inception was okay.
Oh, Inception's one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
It's one of her favorite. I mean, like, is it sci-fi?
I don't know if it's sci-fi.
I don't know about that. I would have said like something like Tenet is like sci-fi. That's more like you're talking about inverting time and shit. That's a weird one. Oh, Blade Runner.
I just looked at a list and it listed A Clockwork Orange as sci-fi.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know about that.
No.
Don't know about that.
Elysium, Mars, Interstellar, which I've heard is good. Don't know what the fuck that is. Alien, yeah. Cowboys and Aliens, get out of my face with that movie. God damn. E.T., yeah, E.T.'s good. Signs, yeah.
Planet of the Apes.
Oh God, Avatar. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry. If anyone can tell, I love that movie. District 9. Pan's Labyrinth. That's more like fantasy. That's not sci-fi.
Yeah, I think it's more fantasy.
The Mist. That's it's not really sci-fi. War of the Worlds. Yeah, most of these are gonna be Spielberg, which is hilarious. Starship Troopers. Oh shit, that's a good one. Cloverfield. I don't know. Edge of Tomorrow.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. The Martian. Oblivion. I'm just reading shit now. Godzilla. Sure. Ooh, Metropolis. That's a good one.
The Matrix.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite. I'm embarrassed right now. Spear. Independence Day. Yeah, that's true. Independence Day. Andromeda Strain. Dune. Shit, I almost forgot about Dune, man. Fuck, I'm surprised. I don't think we've done the original Dune. That'd be a fun one to do.
No, we haven't done the original Dune.
What about
Ooh.
Terminator?
Yeah. Sci-fi. 2001: Space Odyssey. Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, yeah, obviously. I Am Legend.
Tenet.
Okay, I was right. Contact. Good movie.
Well, I mean, you could throw a lot. I mean, Blade Runner.
No, look there, Star Wars.
I'm
Blade Runner.
old enough to remember when that movie was kind of new. 2001: A Space Odyssey. I mean, Kubrick, much like Spielberg. I mean, they were friends. Had a very similar filming style. Star Wars is kind of too easy. The Matrix.
The Matrix. Ooh, The Thing.
The Thing. Yeah, I would consider that. Terminator. I think it's a good sci-fi film.
Would you consider Mad Max sci-fi?
I don't know if the dystopian stuff is really sci-fi, because to me, sci-fi is also, there's a certain amount of technology involved in it. And you're not really talking about technology. You're just talking about a bunch of old shit that you're struggling to keep working. It's not like they have laser beams and spaceships. So I don't know that I would necessarily consider that.
Fallout would be, because Fallout's still dystopian apocalyptic, but it is future tech. Fallout's more sci-fi like Tron. I think Tron would be kind of sci-fi.
Yeah, I mean, I would put this movie. I don't know, Blade Runner. Would I put this movie ahead of Blade Runner? I don't know.
Alien?
Would I put this movie ahead of 2001: A Space Odyssey? God, they're really similar. Again, Spielberg and Kubrick were close. They were tight. And so there's a lot of similarities there. I don't know which one I'd put ahead. I'd put Star Wars ahead of this, but not by as much as people might think. The Matrix is another one. I'd put this movie ahead of the Matrix. I like the first Matrix movie a lot, but Inception. I put this movie ahead of Inception. The first Alien. I don't know. I kind of lean towards the first Alien because I love sci-fi horror. I always have, because there's something inherently scary about going into space. Then there's also something inherently scary about monsters chasing you, trying to kill you. So when you combine those two things, it's just even more scary.
What about Back to the Future?
That's a tough one, because Back to the Future is so much of a comedy. I don't know that they're necessarily on the same plane. What do I?
I said that a second ago.
Yeah, what movie do I enjoy more? I think it's clearly Back to the Future, but what movie do I think is a better movie? I think this is probably a better movie all around. But I enjoy Back to the Future more because I was 10 when it came out. It's kind of ingrained in the 10-year-old part of my brain. So whatever. E.T., I don't know. I grew up on E.T., so I'm kind of leaning towards it. But I mean, it's another Spielberg movie. Similar shot. There's a lot of similarities, obviously, because they're both Spielberg.
E.T. is also technically in Star Wars. So
what about They Live? Would you consider that sci-fi?
Ooh.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
It was aliens.
Yeah, because the problem is they put all these things. They put all these things into different categories now to try to give them more opportunities to win awards. What was the one movie a couple of years ago? It won The Martian, won the Golden Globe for best comedy or musical, and I was like, it's not a comedy and it's not a musical. What the fuck? It's like that they got shit on for giving that movie that award. It's a great movie. Don't get me wrong, award worthy very much. But best comedy or musical to The Martian? I was like, come on, dude, just stop. They're just award hunting now because they want the pats in the back. That's one of the reasons why I haven't paid attention to award shows in 20 plus years. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You guys go in the comments. Let us know where you guys would rank this movie amongst some of the other sci-fi films, because it's. I mean, for me, it's probably top 5 sci-fi easy. I don't know. I can't think of a whole. I mean, I could break down the 5 ahead of it and the 5 underneath it, but it's definitely one of the greats.
Because now I said Fallout, and I'm like, well, that takes top cake for me as well. Sorry, I'm literally wearing a Fallout T-shirt as we speak. Literally season 2 right here on my chest. Boom. But
I better get a shot at the chat. BJ's here. Hey, BJ, what's going on? Stuart going on with this means something. Yes, it does. That's what Jeremy has on his thing. This means something. This is important. And you can never ignore this. How good is John Williams? A few notes made us fear sharks, and 5 notes made us memorized by aliens. Absolutely.
I'm sure when that damn ship was doing his thing, I heard like, I'm like, that's wrong. That's Jaws. He's definitely started playing those 2 notes from Jaws. And I was like, nah. I see what you did, Spielberg.
Yeah.
I see what you did
Casey's here, obviously. What's up, Casey? Go play some video games, kid. Go grow your channel like I'm growing mine without having to buy your subs. All organic here, kid. All organic. BJ saying she played Ken Oh God. I don't know what's that reference to. Help me out here.
What?
We're
talking about Melinda Dillon, maybe.
But and then of course Stuart saying the French science guy, that would be legendary French director, Fence Watcher Font. Yes, very good in this movie. I wish he would have had a bigger role because I think he could have done a lot more. But again, I'm not going to knock the movie for the movie we got because it's an all-time classic. But we're going to go ahead and get into some trivia now, and I've got some pretty good stuff. But before we do that, just want to remind you guys, like, share, do all that good shit, because YouTube doesn't do anything to help out small channels like us, and I refuse to pay a bunch of people to advertise videos and shit like that because I don't see the point. So share us around, let everybody know that we are the let's see, last time I checked on Social Blade, we were the 4,727,323rd best movie channel on the internet. So help us get up to the top. Help us get into the 4 millions. That's all I ask. But we'll go into some trivia now. And let's see. I didn't get I'm mad at myself now. I didn't get a good picture, except for maybe this one of him building the many towers that he builds over the course of the movie. During the Neary dinner scene, just before Roy piles on the mashed potatoes, the little girl Sylvia, played by Adrienne Campbell, says, "There's a dead fly in my potatoes." This was unscripted and almost caused the rest of the cast to laugh. The scene was kept in as is.
Gotta love that. Also, I think I know what my mom was talking about. Sorry, she was talking about Teri Garr. There's a movie called Oh God from '77 that she was in.
Oh yeah, with yeah. Oh, there's Oh God. There was Oh God. There was Oh God Udell. It was John Denver and George Burns. Remember those movies?
Yeah,
because I'm old. You know.
I was like, you would know better than me. I was like, I'm not that.
There was Oh God. And there was Oh God You Devil was the sequel, and George Burns plays God and the devil in the second one, I think. But yeah, George Burns was classic guy. When I was a kid, he was still doing it. When I was a kid, he was still into a lot of stuff. He's got a really funny movie called 18 Again, where him and his grandson are driving around in his Rolls Royce, get into an accident, and somehow they switch consciousness. So while the old man is in the hospital in a coma after the accident, he has actually somehow ended up in the body of his 18-year-old son. So he's going back and doing young shit again, like getting into fights and chasing women, and it's a goofy movie. It's a goofy movie. It's fun though. Good George Burns. But let's see. This film. I'll go to my Slender Man alien here.
Right.
This film is shown every night at the Devil's Tower KOA campground, thereby making it one of the most screened movies in history.
I'm trying, because like I said, I had been the Devil's Tower. I'm trying to remember if it was the KOA that I was at. I can't imagine anywhere else that it would have been. I'm not shocked. I don't know if. I don't think we actually watched it, but it was like I knew of it, and I was just, like I said, I was looking at the sky like, if we start seeing some lights, that'd be cool.
That would be pretty dope. Yes, Stuart. She was in Young Frankenstein. She played the Ursula. Was that her name? I haven't watched that movie forever. It was Ursula or something like that. But yeah, that was her. I remember when I went to see what was it? Independence Day. I went to, before the rave was the rave, over by your guys' place, when it was still whatever it was. I went there to go see Independence Day the weekend it came out. Me and my buddy Tony went to go watch it. And as we were walking out to his car, I kind of laughed because like we were walking out and it was right as the sun was starting to set. It was 9:30-ish as we were walking out of the theater. And both of us were walking through the parking lot to his car, just kind of looking up like, is there going to be a big spaceship firing through the sky? It's amazing how a movie can kind of screw with your perception a little bit. But yeah, it's good times. Let's see. I need a good. Let's see. Let's go to the music one right here. The musical background as she freaks out. The John Williams score was created before the film was edited. Steven Spielberg edited the film to match the music, a reverse of what is usually done in the film scoring process. Both Spielberg and Williams felt that it ultimately gave the film a lyrical feel.
It's almost
Interesting.
Like this guy John Williams should like make some music for movies or something. Yeah,
I know. It's almost like there's a good working relationship between John Williams and Steven Spielberg. They're kind of simpatico here. But I mean, it's not like those guys haven't done it a few times. As a matter of fact, I'll skip ahead to one of these. Where is it at here? I know I have it in here. I could have sworn I had it in here.
Do I feel contractually obligated to say that Spielberg did like sweep Kathleen Kennedy on stage and mention John Williams and not her, and that was the funniest fucking thing I ever seen in my life? Because fuck you for ruining Star Wars. Sorry.
Thought I had put it in here, but this I remember seeing. This was I put it in the trivia for the last one. The movie you guys just did, Disclosure Day, was what, the 50th? The 50th time that Spielberg and that they had collaborated.
Yeah.
And it's insane. Yeah. Just, I mean, these two guys have it, man. They worked very well together.
Like I said, I know we could do a whole show one day to talk about like the movies that John Williams has scored, and my God, we could talk for like fucking hours on that. Holy crap! Like music is like a character in the movie. I'm telling you, like it gives you another level.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's going on, Dinosaur Man? Wish you would have said something else.
Holy crap!
There he is. There's our guy. Where's my my thing that I play whenever he shows up? Here we go.
Goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me.
There's Brady. I haven't played that one in a while. I played that one the other day when I was getting a stream together just to play it. I was like, yeah, it's still rocks.
Nice.
You're in our Twitter room. I think I put in there the kind of the recent schedule I had. So yeah, look at the schedule. It's like let's see, music can make or music can make or break a movie. Absolutely. Let's see, what did Stewart just say? He said, I'm swimming to the street. I might go to the yard, grab some chicken wire and dirt and throw it in the kitchen window.
He's gonna start making.
Dude, I did not realize how funny it was. It had been a while since I'd seen this movie, admittedly, but it's like when that scene's going on, the kid walks up to him and says, "Hey, Dad, after this, can we throw some dirt through my window?" I was like, "What?"
The kids were just into it, man. He's like, "All right, I don't care. Dad's throwing shit in the window. Let's go."
I was like, "Yeah, this kid's just into it. Let's make it happen." Let's see. I need a picture. Where's one that I haven't? Oh, God, I got to scroll back on my pictures now. There's one I haven't used yet. Oh, yeah, the keyhole. This is a great shot right here. This has got a little touch of a horror element to it right here. The film was partially inspired by an experience from Steven Spielberg's childhood when, without advanced warning, his parents rushed the children into their car one night, drove to an area where many others were gathered, and watched a spectacular meteor shower in the middle of the damn night. Got all your kids together.
Well, it's also, didn't he... he put it in this film, right? There was, because of Jaws, right? There was that shooting star that went across the sky in that shot, and he like puts it in every movie, that he's made. I mean,
I noticed it. I noticed it in this movie when I was watching it last night.
Yeah, so it makes me wonder. I'm like, wait, where is it in Ready Player One? It's probably like really subtle at this point. Like, you gotta really be looking for it. I don't know. There's plenty of space shots in that movie. Maybe I'll have to find where the one shooting star is at in that movie, but. Yeah, it's kind of his thing, so it makes sense that that's, drawn from real life. Or imitates life.
Yeah. Let's see, I haven't used this picture yet, so we'll go to this one next. Let's see, director Steven Spielberg stated that nothing in his life has been more difficult than editing the final 35 minutes of this film. You gotta stick the landing, man. He knows it. If you don't stick the landing, the whole movie might die.
You don't stick the alien landing, dude. Yeah, it's all kind of for naught. That's what you're leading up to. That's the climax, man. You got to make that shit work. I was gonna mention that because Frank definitely didn't ask me about the plot. I was like, it is kind of funny that like he does just walk up. No, you did. It's fine. I would have echoed the same sentiments. The only thing I would have mentioned was I was gonna say like it's funny that he just kind of waltzes out there between all the scientists and no one gives a shit. I'm like, yeah, because there's a big thing in the sky. They don't even care that he just walks right through, like staring at it too. You know what I mean? They just kind of accept it and it happens. So. Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Let's see. Next little bit of trivia I got. Richard Dreyfuss had become quite interested in the ideas behind Close Encounters of the Third Kind when he heard Steven Spielberg talking about them on the set of Jaws in 1975. When Dreyfuss heard that casting for the film was underway, he made a concerted effort to persuade Spielberg to take him into the film. It worked, and I'm glad it did.
Work with the people you like working with, man. It works.
Indeed. What is that? Let me click this off real quick. Let's see. Stewart said he saw Disclosure Day and it was so underwhelming. I've heard that from a few people. I've heard that the science is not good, which is kind of a bummer because I wanted the science to be good too. But I'm going to go see it probably this weekend when I go see Supergirl. So I'll probably make it a double feature. I'm going to try to relax a little bit this weekend. So maybe there's going to be a couple of movies in my weekend feature. And yeah, Brady's disappointed. I'm going to go see it. I mean, it's Spielberg. Even when Spielberg's doing,
like,
yeah, true. But it's like Spielberg, even like I said, even when Spielberg lays an egg, it's still better than like half the movies in the theater. So, I'm going to go see it anyway. But let's see. I will go to this picture because I actually have a couple pieces of trivia going to go along with this picture. Let's see. Steven Spielberg ran a few tests of computer-generated imagery, now the industry standard. But then in its very first stages of development, he decided none of it looked believable, so tried to use as much practical stuff as possible.
Those silly dinosaurs aren't going to look real. What are you talking about?
We all know that T-Rexes really had hair or some shit, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, something like that. They had feathers, I think, or some shit. Yeah.
Velociraptors are birds, right?
Velociraptors were also not like 6 feet long. They were like maybe 3 feet long.
Yeah, they were like 2 feet tall or something like that.
Well, they are little murder chickens. That's kind of what they are. So.
They are. Yeah. Let's see. Let me go to this one next because I haven't used that picture yet, I don't think. Of all people, Ray Bradbury declared this as the greatest science fiction film ever made. That's pretty high standing.
Well, that's a fucking name right there. Yeah. Damn.
I mean, talk about somebody who knows a little something about writing some sci-fi. That's not a bad guy to have on your side when he watches your movie and he likes it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I got a picture of the teeny tiny aliens. Yeah, I did. I labeled it baby aliens because that's kind of what they were. Let's see. The small aliens in the film were played by local girls in costume from a ballet dance school that were all aged between 8 and 12 years old. Girls were used instead of boys because Steven Spielberg felt that they moved more gracefully.
And the fact that they were ballerinas, yeah. I feel like there's a way that they probably moved. That's what made it convincing. That's wild.
But I mean, that's what you do when you're Steven Spielberg and you're that fucking good. You're just like, you're thinking about how do people move. A bunch of, 8 to 12-year-old boys, you're just going to kind of lumber down there. They're going to kind of clunk around. I know this because I was
the time of my life. What are you talking
about?
I
know this because when I was an 8 or 12-year-old boy, I was just lumbering around everywhere and clunky.
I was going to say, when we talked about that earlier, I'm like, no, I was an 8 to 12-year-old boy. I would have been throwing fucking dirt and rocks into my house too.
Yeah, I would have been that. I would have been that kid. Yeah,
that's the difference. Oh, we're doing this. All right.
I wouldn't have been graceful about anything at that age. Yes, girls are definitely more graceful. Let's see. I'll go back to this picture because I didn't get the picture I should have gotten. I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass when I get it now. Cary Guffey really did cry at the end of the movie when he said goodbye to the aliens. Steven Spielberg told him to think of all of his friends going away forever. Damn, that hurts.
oh, man. Well, yeah. I mean, you got to spend some time with them, so. Shit.
Yeah, that's
real emotion.
Yeah, that is, and that's another thing that Spielberg does very well. Is he has those moments where he lets the heavy emotions sneak in and kind of hit you in the face. It's again one of the reasons why Schindler's List is such a hard movie to watch. It's like the girl in the red dress. I mean, the Holocaust, yes, but I mean, there's moments where he drives it home in ways that. God, it's the girl in the red dress.
Yeah, the girl in the red dress was definitely
well placed in a couple places, like right in the movie. Little things like that. It's insane how good he is at those moments. But let's see
the scene. I'm sorry. Now I'm thinking about that movie. Like when he's having that Oscar Schindler's having that moment where he's like, he looks at his ring. He's like, he just rolls down this fucking lane of emotions where he's like, this ring, I could have saved like 300 people with this. Like my watch, why do I even have this? I could have saved 10 people with this. And he's like having this fucking moment, and they're all standing there with him like, dude, you saved us. Like that's enough. Like just the way that scene rolls through so many emotions, just with him having kind of this like regret of like, I could have done more. And I'm like, damn, dude, but you're standing there with everybody you saved, and that's, hey, even if you save one person, that's still someone's life.
Well,
That
that's
was a
one of the
heavy
central.
movie.
It's one of the central themes of the movie. This person who saves one life saves the world entire, and that's one of the central themes. But that's we'll save that for when we work up the emotional fortitude to even try reviewing that movie. But, let's see. Let's go to
Round
this
3. Maybe I'll watch it for a third time. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. One last piece of trivia. Steven Spielberg's Cocker Spaniel Elmer can be seen during the release of the abducted humans from the mothership sliding down the ramp. Elmer also appears in Jaws 1975 as the Brody family dog.
Oh yeah, on the bed when he first gets, yeah, because you were just like, why? This is a dog just sliding down the ramp, and I was like, okay, they took a dog. That's funny. Because of course I have expected like a cow to come out of there or something. Because come on, like some cow comes sliding down the ramp. I know it's before it came out, but I honestly expected ET's last to waddle out there at least once, like lay some groundwork. Spielberg, like suddenly he's there for some reason. His little finger lights up. Cool.
Stewart's given us his top 5 sci-fi: Star Wars 2001, Close Encounters, Planet of the Apes, Forbidden Planet. I'm not going to knock any of those. Planet of the Apes, yeah. the original, like the 60s Planet of the Apes movies, are still
one
very
with
good.
Heston. That's very good movie.
Those are still really good movies to watch. I watched one not too long ago, and I was like, "Damn, this is still good shit." So obviously, Brady wants to take part in the emotional roller coaster that will be Schindler's List. We'll get around to it. I gotta be in the right frame of mind. He also says we need to do a Universal month. Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I wonder if we could run through like the Universal monsters for Halloween this year or something, like when it comes spooky season.
That would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I know. I every now and again I think about trying to do like a themed month, like because I was thinking about next month. I was thinking about next month doing baseball movies, or at least doing several of them, because I was eating lunch at work and I was just watching like movie clips to pass some time, and I watched a movie clip of from Major League, and like the rest of the day I was like, I need to watch Major League now because that movie is awesome. So yeah, there might be a Major League movie coming up, movie review coming up at some point, because that's still one of the great baseball movies ever made. But even though it was kind of goofy, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, he says Mummy Month.
Yeah, so we could do Frankenstein, Mummy.
Well, yeah, I mean they are getting ready to make Brendan Fraser's getting ripped to come back for another Mummy movie. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of him. I saw the picture of him. I saw the picture of him getting yoked. He's just about ready to go. I'm super impressed.
Just got to grow the hair out, dude. Get the middle part again, and my God, let's go.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Oh, let's go.
Let's see. Stewart says they should make a baseball movie with a tartan army. You have to remind me what the hell that means.
Are you talking about army, like with? Well, tartan's like plaid, like kilts and shit. I'm not. Is it something I'm too American to understand? I don't. Help me out.
Brady says we don't talk about the third Major League film. No, we don't talk about that film. That film was pretty bad. It wasn't good. They should have stopped.
Like, no, we don't talk about Jaws 3D either. My God.
Yeah, we don't talk about Jaws 3D either. But
oh my God.
But yeah, I'm excited for the Mummy movie. But yeah, there's some baseball movies I might try to squeeze in.
Oh, you might have even been talking about the third Mummy movie, because we don't talk about that one either. I think they're kind of considering retconning that and just be like, nah, it was always Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. Let's keep that.
Look, I say it 100 times. You're one line of dialogue away from explaining anything. So all you have to do is have one line of dialogue, say, hey, did that one thing happen? And kind of like loosely describing the movie. They're like, no, and they're talking about it. And then they just move on.
Yeah. Just acknowledge it. Yeah.
The World Cup fans at Fenway Park. You know what I did see the other day? I was watching highlights of the Giants-A's game earlier today from last night. Giants came back with 2 homers in the bottom of the ninth, won the game. Go Giants in a terrible season. One moment of light. They had a bunch of Australian soccer fans that had taken over like a section of Oracle Park in San Francisco. It's kind of cool. They were over there watching the ball game. They were all wearing their yellow and green Aussie stuff. It was the whole thing. It was actually kind of cool to see. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get some things wrapped up there. Let me get your guys' final thoughts. I'll go to you first, Rachel. Give me your final thoughts on Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Well, I love this movie. It's a great movie. I enjoy the inner working of the thoughts of the possibility of aliens and them coming to chat with us through a musical lens. And I suggest seeing this movie if you haven't. It is great.
Jeremy, how about you? Give me your final thoughts on Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
It's definitely a movie worth watching, which I'm sure all of us are going to agree on. Kind of one of like the movies of all time. Like I said, in your lexicon of movies that you should watch if you're a movie fan, this is one of the big ones, one of the big hitters. Not because, like I said, not only it's a little more thought provoking. Like I said, it's not just aliens come down and pew pew, blow them up. 4th of July, yeehaw, America. That's such a come on. I love that movie. That's my yearly watch for 4th of July is Independence Day. Brooding Gamers is Jaws. So to be fair, that does make sense. It is 4th of July related. Sometimes we might even double feature and do like The Patriot with Mel Gibson for the 4th. That's just usually my go-to. Yeah. That's I guess I have movies that we watch on certain holidays, and it's usually those two: Independence Day and The Patriot. We have to have a movie marathon now and just fucking watch Jaws anyway. I don't know. But that's my gateway back to Spielberg because those are all Spielberg adjacent. Yeah, this is a great movie. Like I said, it's more thought provoking. It's kind of cool that it worked out that they were actually communicating with each other. They weren't hostile. They came down to visit. They had, really, they just kind of let the people that went missing come back, and then they took Richard Dreyfuss, which is interesting. Just visually, musically, even like I said, story wise, it does give you that wonder and kind of puts it in your brain, like, yeah, what if there was other stuff out there, and again, something that wasn't hostile. So just kind of a nice, but kind of a slightly unsettling thought because like again this background here, if you know how big Devil's Tower is, this big light show going on would kind of it would stop that's the day the Earth didn't stand still for a second. You're seeing aliens looking right back at you. So
Day the Earth Stood Still, another great sci-fi movie.
What? Oh, the Day the Earth Stood Still.
The Day the Earth Stood Still, another good sci-fi movie I forgot to mention.
Yeah, that's there you go. There's no one for the count. So yeah, go watch it. It's worth having. If you're into physical media, I would definitely recommend this movie. So
yeah, it's a classic. Most of the movies that have been chosen for preservation by the Library of Congress, they're not there because somebody paid for them to be there. They're there because there is something culturally significant about the film, and culturally, like I said, UFOs have always been a thing since Roswell and that whole thing back in '47. So it's always been part of the thing, the wonder, what's out there. If I'm looking at a star, is something looking back, and then
the truth is out there. X-Files.
Yes, it is.
There you go, another one.
And but look, and you're just talking about a great filmmaker. You're talking about a bunch of great actors. Even Carl Weathers, before he, I think this was right before he started whipping Rocky's ass in the first Rocky movie. Carl Weathers has a blink and you'll miss it kind of role as the MP. But great performances, great writing, great subject matter, and then obviously the special effects. It doesn't necessarily come into play too much until the end of the movie when they get to the base at the Devil's Tower. But just those scenes with the lights shooting around. For 1977, that shit must have blown some people's minds. But even now it still holds up, even with like the grainy film. It's still a good effect. The effects are still really, really good. There's not a whole lot wrong with this movie. It's a classic for a reason, because you can want to watch this movie and try to pick it apart the way I was kind of trying to do yesterday, but you just get so caught up in the movie itself that you just forget you forget everything else. There's just so much going on that is so engrossing. It's a fantastic movie. It's definitely one of the films you should see before you die. It's on a lot of those lists that people make of 100 films you should see before you die. This movie's on all of them. This is one of the movies that's on all of them. It's just that good. So go check it out. It's on, I think it's on Tubi. I watched it on Peacock. So if you have a subscription to Peacock, it's going to be, you can watch it on there. I did not mention R2-D2 on the mothership. I did not get a picture of it, but yes, R2-D2 is on the mothership. I don't know. Do I have a good enough view of the mothership? I don't think I do. I don't think
where he was.
I mean, yeah, that's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna do it.
No.
But yeah, you're not gonna see it on there. I don't think that's really visible in the movie very easily. I think all the pictures I've seen of R2-D2 on the mothership have all been like pictures they've taken of the models that they used in filming, like with good lighting and all that, no special effects, just a picture of the model. So, but yes, R2-D2 is on there somewhere. But yeah, and Stuart also says I'm ending the stream at just the right time because he's got to go. He's got to go watch the footy, Australia and Paraguay. Sorry about that 2-0 win over Australia the other day. Nothing but love for you guys. Nothing but love. But there's a World Cup to win, and we have to assert our American dominance, even over our friends down under. But we'll be happy to let you guys have second place. You guys can have the whatever the second place trophy is for the World Cup. I don't know if there is one. Not a soccer guy. Not a footy guy.
We're American. We're not soccer people.
Yeah, I hit a ball with a stick. That was what I did for a long time. Wasn't kicking a ball around. That's the kind of. Although I should say that Australia does have a pretty good baseball league, from what I've heard. They have a lot more. They have a lot more scouts looking around down there for some baseball players, and they're starting to get a few guys up into the American minor league system. So, hey, so good baseball players down in Australia. But we're going to go ahead and wrap things up there. Want to thank my co-host for being so awesome as usual, starting with my good friend Rachel. Where can the folks at home find you?
Well, you can find me on TikTok at 10 Septum. I do haunt makeup and stuff like that, and other random stuff occasionally. You can also find me on Twix, which is Twitter/X. That's what I'm calling it. I post there sometimes too.
And of course, my hetero life mate Jeremy. What do you got going on the internet, my friend?
Yeah, I refuse to call it X. I'm just going to keep calling it Twitter, or I'll call it Twix because that is too goddamn funny. That's the compromise I'm willing to make. I'm on there. I don't do shit. I think I posted something like a fucking week ago where I'm like, wow, I have like 88 followers. Get me to 100 and I'll do something, I guess. I don't know. Something special. I don't fucking know, man. Sure, you think for a millennial, think I'd be better at this, but alas, I'm not. So I'm just here Tuesdays and Thursdays reviewing movies, as we always do. If you're here, that's why you're here. That's what we do. So I don't know. I do have a new project, and I was kind of just like, I don't know. I thought about one day just maybe BSing and just like having like a little stream to hang out, because it probably take me a couple hours to make it part of a cosplay. We had this idea of putting a cosplay together for our D&D characters, so I was kind of like, well, there's a place I can start with this and just have a hangout and just bullshit making that. So maybe I'll do that, but again, I'm lazy, so I don't know. If you want to be there, you can be there, but I'll be here Tuesday at least. That's for damn sure. That's a threat and a promise.
We will be here on Tuesday. I lost my mouse. Where to go? Because one way or another, whether everybody likes it or not, we're doing Supergirl. I'm going to go see Supergirl this weekend. I want the movie to be good. I'm going in there with moderate expectations. I'm trying to avoid some of the early reviews. Well, the early ones have already come out, but some of the people that I watch, like Christian Harloff, stuff like that, have already seen it and put their non-spoiler reviews online. I'm trying to avoid them because I just want the movie to be good. I want it to be entertaining. If I leave there having been entertained for a couple hours, I will be plenty happy. I don't need it to be fantastic. I just need it to be a good step for the DCU and everything that James Gunn and Peter Safran are trying to do. So if it's a good entertaining movie, I will be happy. I'm not going to overthink it.
So we are doing another Alien movie on Tuesday. Crazy.
Technically speaking, yes.
He is an alien.
we may not know what planet the people from Close Encounters are from. We know what planet she's from. She's from Krypton. We're even getting this. I would imagine we even get to see a glimpse of it in this movie. But
maybe.
I mean, honestly, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I want superhero movies to continue being good. I have had a few more concerns lately about James Gunn and his overall approach, but I mean, I want to see these movies be good. I want to enjoy them. I'm going in with an open mind, and wanting to see a good movie. So I think it's going to be decent. I just at this point I'm fed up with people just being negative before they even see the movie. I mean, granted, Millie Alcock has been kind of talking some shit that she doesn't really need to talk.
I was gonna say, it's like, not the movie, it's the actress. Trying to separate.
I know.
Like, you were talking a lot of shit to people right now, and it's not helping your case.
I know.
Rachel Zegler. I didn't want to say it, but I was like, hey, you know, one stinker that Spielberg did, he fucking discovered Rachel Zegler. So there's that knowledge for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put all that shit to the side and just judge it on performance and story and just what happens in the body of the film. And I'm hoping that it will be good. I'm hoping it'll be good. Let's see. Brady says it's got Lobo, so I'm excited. That's actually my son just said the same thing earlier today.
I know.
He's like, I'm so jacked up about seeing Lobo. He's like, I'm so jacked up about seeing Lobo. But yes, and then of course Stewart's bragging about the Aussie Supergirl, Millie Alcott.
Okay, you got Supergirl, you got Wolverine. I'm so fucking happy for you. I'm only a little jealous. God damn.
Even if Millie Alcott sucks, we'll always have Wolverine. We'll always have Wolverine.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, so we will be back here on Tuesday doing Supergirl, and I forget what the hell we have scheduled for.
They have Harley Quinn as well. Shit, I forgot. Margot Robbie is Australian, isn't she?
True. Very true.
Yeah, we're losing ground here. Let's just close this out. God damn it.
Very true. But we will see you guys on Tuesday. Thank you, Mike, for so often as always. And until next time, adios. I mean, God, he was such a bad father. I mean, it's not even like he didn't even like think about it. He's just like, oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Forget them kids. I'm going to space.
And then it was like
dirt inside the house, but not go on a spaceship with me. Wow, guys.
And I totally forgot about the whole Zeke Heil alien down there in the bottom right hand corner. I don't even know why I forgot to joke about that. He just like if he'd have rolled down to the spaceship doing that, I'd have been like, okay, so about 30 years ago, we had a deal with a guy that did that and it didn't go very well.
Yeah, thanks for giving us back our World War II pilots. Can you put your arm down there, Mr. Alien?
Yeah. I'm like, no, you get canceled for that in about 30 years. Put your hand down. Put your hand down.
Haven't you heard?
The woke people are going to come for you.
And
then of course, Thor. And then Stewart tells us they got Thor too.
Damn it. That's true.
I guess we need to keep the Aussies around for a while now.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, don't invade Australia. Let them go. They're doing pretty good. They're importing some pretty good character actors here. Bye, everybody.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.